Hey guys, welcome back to another Auto-TerraFirmaCraft episode. Gotta start with some bad news. In between episodes, I somehow managed to lose my toolbox with almost all the copper tools. So the scythe, hammer, chisel, and so on is all gone, except the tools I had on me, which was an axe, a pickaxe, and a shovel. It is almost completely broken. So it's not the biggest loss because soon the copper tools will be outdated anyway and we want to make better ones. So either black bronze tools or iron directly. But yeah, in order to progress now, we also need to go iron mining and so on. Still gotta make some tools. So in order to actually have enough copper to make black bronze tools next to the anvil and the bloomery that I wanna make, yeah, I would actually need a bit more copper. We're almost completely out of copper, so I was thinking I'm just gonna make one copper pickaxe and mine some copper so we have enough for some black bronze tools so we can go iron mining later. Yeah, that's the plan. Also, what I did in between was I brought home two more alpacas. Here they are in the front. Okay. I already started taming them. Familiarity at 24. I can already shear them. But it would be nice to get this up to 35 so it can't decay anymore. Also, the chicken is home. Familiarity is at 35. And I placed a nest box for the chicken to lay eggs in. Okay, we can actually take this out. Got one egg. And the eggs are really great because those are just vanilla eggs. They don't rot or decay or anything like that. So we can always store those no matter what. They won't decay. So it's pretty nice. We can turn them into hard-boiled eggs with the pot. And that's actually a really good food because it gives you a little bit of dairy and of course some protein. So yeah, unless we find a cow soon, I guess our dairy source will be the eggs that we boil. Okay, we can also put those just in a chest. That will be fine. Also, this actually also gives us the ability to make certain recipes. For example, pumpkin pie. Yeah, that should be possible as well. Unfortunately, I actually crafted all of the pumpkins into carved pumpkins for jack-o'-lanterns. Ah. But at least we got an egg, so that's still good. Alright, then I'm gonna make a pickaxe and head out to the copper mine. Got plenty of copper again, was digging here for a while. Got a couple of rich ones as well. There's plenty left still, so we can always come back here. Look at this wall, couple of rich ones. Yeah, huge vein here. Let's also try to deal with our wolf problem again. So we have this pack of wolves here that is dangerously close to base. Only 100 meters away, we had some close calls already. So I'm a bit scared that they would attack the animals at some point if they get closer. So I already started feeding them in order to tame them. That didn't work so far. I still got attacked. This one here already has familiarity 50. What about the others? Right now in grass. The sleeping at daytime is kind of their weakness. Yeah, we can also even feed them with grain, which is cheaper than getting meat all the time for me. That's also an option. But since I'm still getting attacked all the time, I was thinking, let's actually deal with them differently. There we go. Now they can't roam around anymore. Let's maybe separate the two. It might be easier to tame them. So I'm still gonna come back here. And oh my god. Just remember there's this mod that actually allows you. Oh, what was that? That actually allows you to hit enemies through grass. So usually, sometimes you have this issue that you hit grass while you wanna hit your enemies instead. And now we had it the other way around. Oh no. So what kind of familiarity does this guy have? Of course he's mad because I attacked him. But he's at 40 and I'm still getting attacked. I should actually watch out. Had a lot of health, but I think one more hit and I'm dead. Oh. Well, usually you can run away. You can outrun the wolves somehow in this game. Okay, all taken care of. Okay, it worked. Yeah, the wolves are nocturnal. They can't get out of the hole. Okay, neat. Just gonna quickly head over and pick up the charcoal. Oh wow, there's actually a huge amount of charcoal. It seems like in the end it collapsed a little bit. Let's actually jump in there. So much. This goes deep. Wow, okay. This is plenty, yeah. I think the copper axe will definitely break, but I brought some stone and sticks, so back to the Stone Age to mine it all. And back home, I was actually wondering how much charcoal we got from this. So we got 343 charcoal from probably 1024 logs. So roughly 33%. Okay, so good to know. In case we need a specific amount, it's good to know this number. Okay, then let's start. I got actually 5 vessels completely filled up, so we can get 50 more black bronze ingots. Okay, let's put them all in there. Right in there. Charcoal ready, fire starter, and well, the first thing we need to do is actually wait until the seat's up. It's best to also stock up on flux a bit. Now the marble we found comes in really handy, no more collecting clams. First step done, the ingot pile grew to 60. Yeah, now we can heat them up again. Guess 4 at a time would be nice. Also ingot molds, just for safety, if they get too hot they're gonna melt again. And then, yeah, I'd say we go for the anvil first. I guess we have to. We need in total 7 double ingots. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. And there you go. Got 7 double ingots. Make the anvil right away, right? Oh no, it's too hot. Gotta drag it in manually. There you go. Black bronze anvil. Okay. I guess then I also need a black bronze hammer. Let's maybe make that next. I'm actually not entirely sure if I even need a black bronze hammer, because I was able to make the black bronze sheet out of the additional double ingot with just with the normal copper hammer. But let's make one, because I'd like to have one, yeah, just in my inventory anyway. Okay, so hammer time. This time it's a bit harder. Punch last, and then we gotta do shrink. So let's actually even it out. And I think I just need to go over this distance, then I have to shrink it and punch. It's easy. It can get a little bit overwhelming, but I'm gonna try to use 2 forges at the same time. Okay, let's put in 4 ingots there. Yeah, this can get really hectic. So take them out real quick, then weld them. There's a 2 as well. Then we can put them in there, immediately select the sheet recipe, because they're still hot enough, and here, get those. Okay, then the other one as well again. There we go. And technically, we could even make the double sheet. Yes. Okay. Oof. Okay, those are almost hot enough. And now we gotta take ingots from this pile again. Also make sure there's always charcoal in there. This is really hectic. And the last double sheet. So now we can make the bloomery, which is useful to make iron. To be precise, you can make wrought iron with the bloomery. So if you would try to melt down the hematite, limonite, or magnetite you might have found, then you would only get the cast iron, which can't be worked into tools. So here you can see the bloomery. There's a multi-block structure here out of stone blocks basically, and the bloomery block, which was so expensive in front. So here it is, bloomery. Okay. Then I guess the next thing we need to make some wrought iron is to dig up the hematite, which we had really close to base. Where was it again? I think only like 200 meters away or so. Found a good spot. Actually 125 meters away. Let's see. Just for now I made a new set of tools, so Prospector Pick, which is now more accurate, 82%, and also has a much higher durability. 1460, I think the normal copper tools were like 600. Sorry, much better, and iron will be even better. Okay, so research round. There is a very large sample of hematite but only on those 2 blocks here. Yeah, definitely worth to dig down here. Really hopeful. Actually, let's dig 3 wide so we can immediately place a support down there. I'm really hopeful we're gonna find it soon. I'm also quite sure we have to dig maybe 12 blocks deep. Okay, so stone is the pickaxe. I think it's a little bit faster. Not entirely sure, but it definitely feels faster than the last one. Let's see. Still says very large. Yeah, I feel like maybe here we can already put in a support and try to dig sideways a bit. If we don't find something immediately, then I guess we're gonna go lower. 4 blocks. Might also be worth to dig around. Nope, nothing. Nothing here as well. Then, oh no, there it is. Hematite, perfect. Didn't take long. So the mining session went super smooth this time, not a single cave in. Finally figured out what is actually safe. So 1 block above the horizontal support, mining is fine, but going 1 higher isn't, because then the block above that is no longer supported because it's not within that 5x9x5. Okay, so that's why it's also fine to mine 1 block lower, but if I would start mining those here in between, that would be a bit risky. So I played it completely safe and yeah, not a single cave in. So went well. And yeah, there's still plenty more left, so I could even come back to this. So I have 97 ingots worth of hematite. Would be super tempting to put it into the bloomery right away and use it. But I really want to do the ore doubling first, which is a part of the create mod. So we can get 194 ingots out of this. So yeah, first time we get really into the create mod, apart from the toolbox. There's all kinds of machinery that needs to be powered. And the first feasible power generator that we can use would be a water wheel. All it requires, you can also look at the JEI recipe real quick. Water wheel is a couple of slabs and a large cogwheel that you can make with 1 of those shafts and 2 planks. And those shafts just require some of the raw stone. Oh, I need to make a chisel first again. I lost the old one. Okay, but yeah. Now it really pays off that every time I went mining, I tried to get as many raw stone as possible because the create stuff requires a lot of those for shafts and so on. So we got, yeah, a bit over almost 60. This is actually really good. Okay, then I'm gonna make the chisel real quick. And then we can start placing the water wheels. But of course, we need to get water to the water wheels somehow. In order to do so, we could technically use the create mod fluid pipes. But I feel like TerraFirmaCraft Aqueduct is easier for this. And here it is. I placed down a water wheel and actually crafted 4 more. Gonna chain them up. Gonna have them all next to each other, connected with the same shaft here. Okay, so they work like in real life. We got water flowing over them, and then shaft here turns, and we can use that power for certain tasks. Create mode is actually really great. I love it. Yeah, so the best setup for this is as many sides as possible of the water wheel need to be connected to flowing water. So the best setup is basically we got water flowing this way, then down, and then also this way. Then technically, if you would have access to bubble columns, water flowing up here on the other side would even be more efficient. But yeah, we can't really get soul sand in this. No access to the nether, also no alternative crafting recipe. So we will probably not get the full power out of this, but at least with the setup, just water flowing over this way, down, and then left, we get a decent amount out of it. Okay, since all of those water wheels are hooked up to the same shaft, we also gotta be careful to not have them rotate with different speeds. Like for example, if I have water flowing here, and then maybe it doesn't spread properly to the side, and then the last wheel doesn't create the same amount of power, would rotate a bit slower, it actually breaks. So we gotta be careful about this. So here I actually made some glass, so you can actually nicely see it spin. So the idea is we will have the aqueduct hooked up here, then the water is supposed to spread. But if we would just have it flowing in there, then the water wheels would immediately break before the water can properly spread. So that's why I brought some signs. Just gonna let the water flow in there, and then we break the signs, and the water will flow all at the same time over there, and then, yeah. Here we can then hook up machinery to it, basically. There's a lot of things that actually go into create mode. Okay. Then I craft a lot of those aqueducts. They can transport flowing water, not sources, horizontally. That's why it was important at the beginning. I thought it would be maybe nice to have water that is a bit higher up. Remember that from one of the first episodes? I think in the second one actually. So this should basically be at the same height as the input of the water wheel. So this is at 69. Okay, let's see. Basically place an aqueduct like this. Now it's still here covered, but if I place another one next to it, it's the shovel, then water will start flowing. And if I open up this side, water flows out of it. There's also water I can drink here out of the aqueduct, but not the flowing water. So this could also be helpful. Right now I always have to run to the back of the house, drink there to maybe have some flowing water inside of the house. Okay, then let's continue. Those aqueducts actually super expensive. I made 64. Might not be enough. And we might also be a bit higher than we need to be. Let's actually see. The aqueduct needs to be at 65, so we're even 4 blocks higher than we should be. Could have a little waterfall to get to this level, I guess. Could have it somewhere here in the back. I guess it would make sense. Just hope we actually have enough mortar and bricks to cover the whole distance. Looks like I made enough. Just gotta be careful to not flood the whole area here. Okay, let's hook it up. Okay, now it should flow down here and connect to this. Yeah, perfect. Here it comes. So we let it spread out first. Now if I break the sign, hopefully the water wheels start spinning. Yeah, perfect. Now that we have the power, it's time to use it for something. So I want to make the millstone, which is kind of an upgrade to the quern. So we can use the millstone to make flour. It's gonna be a lot faster, and I also don't need to use the hand crank for every time I want to convert one piece of grain into one piece of flour. No, we can basically just drop it all in, and it does it for us much quicker than the quern does. So Auto-TerraFirmaCraft is a really nice mod, but in the long run, it definitely does get tedious. Like, you can see my HP got a bit lazy. Didn't eat the best food. I was basically just eating some grain so I don't starve to death. But yeah, it can get tedious in the long run. And that's why I'm really glad that we have the Create mod that helps us automate some things. Okay, so with the millstone, we can make flour, but also we can use it for ore doubling. So the way this works is you basically just throw in the small limonite pieces and so on. And then you have, in this case, a 20% chance to get 100 millibuckets of cast iron. This would be one of those crushed iron pieces. So 10 millibuckets, 20% chance to get 100. Basically doubles it. And that's with all of them. So the poor ones give you 15, then you have a 30% chance. The rich ones give you a 70% chance. So basically just do doubling of it. And yeah, we should definitely build this machine before we spend all of our iron here. So one problem why I didn't do this earlier for making, for example, a bismuth bronze was that you can't put the crushed stuff into a vessel. That's why it's encouraged later to actually get the crucible, which we need fire clay for, which is the kaolinite or graphite I was talking a couple times about. We still need to search for that stuff. There we can also put it in directly and also make alloys. But right now, to make alloys, we can only use those vessels still. Alright, so crafting recipe for that millstone is just a raw stone again, plank and a cock. And that's how it looks. So it basically, needs to be hooked up to the rotating shaft there. Wouldn't work directly. So if I add a cock to this, then if I place it right next to it, wouldn't really work. So we need the cock rotating differently. So we can do this by... Not the biggest expert on Create Mod, so just started playing this last week, but there's a couple of things I know. But there might always be a better way to do this. So we can place a big cog and one, flipped this way. And then we get the shaft rotating, this way. We can also, by the way, instead of having the millstone turned from the side, there's also a shaft from the bottom which you can directly use. For example, there's some blocks. Put it right on top of this. Then it would also work. Okay. But this is actually quite slow. So the faster those machines spin, the faster we'll also process our items. So there's a way to increase the speed, which is placing a small cog diagonally from a large one. You can see this spins quicker. And then we can just, on the same shaft, add another large one. And then diagonally, again, a small one. Just gotta be careful that I don't place it here, because then it would be hooked up to the same shaft and spins faster than the other one, and that basically just breaks it. That's why I can't place it here. I can place it diagonally again. For example, here would be a good choice. Then we can add a big one and so on. And it spins faster and faster. So I'm pretty sure I actually set up the water wheels correctly. This should be 16 rotations per minute. So after all of this, it should be now 64. You can go up to 256 and also use the machines with that type of speed. But you can't just basically run all of your machines hooked up to a single water wheel, because there's only a certain amount of force that is generated here. So the millstone wants 4 times the amount of the rotation speed in terms of this internal power unit, which is the stress unit. Later, once we have the engineer's goggles, or you can make a speedometer, which requires some magnetite to make because it needs a compass. We can also see those values, but right now, I basically gotta know it. I've tested this in creative. So if you try to spin this with 256 rotations per minute, you would need 1024 stress unit generated by those water wheels. 4 of those would do that, so we got a little bit of spare with the 5th one. So to run this machine at the highest speed, we would need 4 water wheels. Okay, then the setup here of the cogs is not that nice. I think it would be actually a good idea if I maybe just have this underground. So what I already crafted is also a gearbox. It can be turned into a vertical gearbox. This basically gets around the need to have a lot of cogs. For example, the big cogs to change the way those shafts are rotated. So now I could just have one. There we go. Going down. And if I dig out a room now, we can have all of the basically speed increasing cogs at the bottom, and then just run it back up and put our mill directly on top, and it would be nicely hidden. I think that would be a good idea. Okay, here it is. Once we have a rotation speed controller that requires more advanced materials, we can also make this a bit more compact, but now we have to use the cogs. Okay, this should be a correct setup. Unfortunately, I can't really yeah, use the speedometer. So here we got 16 rotations per minute. Then here we should be at 32, 64, 128, 256, the maximum possible. Okay, take a look up there. You can also see that the millstone spins really, really fast. Okay, let's actually quickly run over. Let's get some ores. Yeah, got some rich hematite. And we just need to throw it on there. So like this. There we go. And it quickly grinds it down. So we got 1 crushed iron ore, 3 and so on. If not too unlucky, I should get like 9 or 8. Actually a little bit unlucky. Okay, but it goes really fast. Once we have some iron, we can also basically make some sort of a hopper or actually transport belts to put in the items automatically and get them out, but that we actually need some iron first. Okay, and this can then be thrown directly into the bloomery. But I'd say I'm just gonna crush the rest of the ore, maybe also make more flowers, I can make some bread again, and end this episode here. Yeah, next time I'm gonna advance to the iron stage. It also means we can upgrade the tools and so on. We're looking forward to that. Alright, that's all for today. Thanks guys for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.